Hi, welcome to Family Sense. Family Sense is dedicated to equipping every man, every woman, every husband, every wife with practical wisdom on family and marriage, especially in these toughest times. This is a production of No Regrets Communication, a division of Hope Education Network. Should you have any questions or need any information, please feel free to contact us on 0772 518 554. You can also contact us on 0754 734 738. You can also email us on noregrets@counselor.com. Right now, join in for insights from today's session. God bless you.
Some words don't have to be nice, but they are good. They should be what? Good. The intent and even the expression, but they are discomforting. But they must be for the health of this family here. No, it's okay. It's okay. Never mind that. It's okay. No, you are my loved wife. I don't mind about. What am I doing to her? And by the way, what am I doing? I'm even killing myself. I'm destroying a family in my own face. Hey, now I'm not saying men go and abuse your wives, eh? Hey, please, I'm very careful. I'm not saying begin abusing. Gratitude. Okay? Avoid working for a what? Good name. Please don't. That's what people try to do. Don't. And they have tried. And instead, they have done what? Lost the name. Because they are trying to have a good name and work up and appear to be all okay and all wonderful. And no, the truth is don't work for a good name. You cannot even hit that goal and achieve it, except if you have labored and made sure you're going to deceive. Don't work for a good name. Just do what? Good. Because it is what? Good. The name will take care of what? Many have tried before you and me to try to work for a good one, and they have failed. They have failed flat. Just too good. Let the name take care of what? Itself. We have been running the script. But please, take you through. Okay? And with that gratitude, the genuine ones will build what? Health what? Just do good. Goodness leads to that. Okay? Proverbs chapter 3, verse 3 to verse 4. What does it say? Let what? Love and faithfulness never do what? Leave you. Bind them around your neck. Your very own existence should be done what? Driven by what? Love and what? Faithfulness. Your mind should be dominated by what? Love and what? Faithfulness. Every expression within you of your life should be driven by what? Love and faithfulness. The work you do, if you are selling tomatoes, let love and faithfulness for the people you are selling them to be the driving force. If you love them, you won't sell tomatoes which are rotten. If you love them, you won't sell tomatoes which are dirty. You will mind, if you're a farmer, you will mind about how you grow the tomatoes. You will mind about how you handle them after harvesting them. You will mind about how you move them from one place to another so that they remain healthy, very good, they remain hygienic, and when you sell them to them, you will see a rotten tomato. It doesn't matter how much you are losing, but what happens? You would rather sell something good other than getting money from the wrong ways. When you do so, you will even have wisdom to concentrate, diligence enough to say, how do I avoid the rotting of my tomatoes? Those are the things. I've used the example of tomatoes. It can be an IT piece. It can be an artwork. It can be a clothing. If you are a tailor, it doesn't matter what it is. Goodness and faithfulness should be the driving force of whatever you're involved in. And when you do so, what happens? Then you will win what? Favor and what? A good name, first and most importantly, in the sight of God. And the one who sees that you are good and faithful to him is the one who draws the favor of people unto you. So this person will be a good witness to me before people. So I will grant him people to go to him. And each time they go to him, you have no control over who you meet on your path. You don't. Only God has that. And when he lets people cross your path and you are a bad witness, you lose their favor. Because God wants to witness his goodness in the process of life, day to day, all the time, and in everything involving a person who has his name on him. That I am a child of God. I am in the image of God. Prove it by your life. And that wins favor before you. And that favor, he says, yes, I will now take you to who? Nebuchadnezzar. Now when he takes you to Nebuchadnezzar, what happens? What happens? What shows up first? You win favor because you are wise. Isn't that what happened to Daniel? And then he gave them high what? Positions. Then he made an image. When he made an image, it had to be a decision of commitment. By who? By Daniel. By who? Shadrach. By who? Meshach. By who? Shadrach. They had to say, and it went to a point of death. They were unwavering commitment. Even in the face of fire, you say, no, I would rather lose it than twist myself up. Those are tough things. And let me tell you something. I face similar things every day. It's a hard work, but it's worth it and enjoyable. And look, even Daniel, when they say now, worship is no other God but only and only Artaxerxes. And they even made it low. They made it what? Low. Daniel did what? Refused. Daniel chapter 6. Now this guy was set for a promotion. You remember? Daniel chapter 6, he says, it pleased Darius to appoint 120 satraps to rule throughout the kingdom, with 3 administrators over them, one of whom was who? Daniel. The satraps were made accountable to them, so that the king may not suffer what? Loss. Now what happened to Daniel? Verse 3. He saw, let us read it together. He so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional what? Qualities, that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Set for what? Promotion. Guess what happens next? At this, the administrators felt so bad and terrible. They want to find grounds to accuse who? Daniel, in the way he conducts his affairs. But they were unable to. Why? Because he was loving and very faithful in everything that he did. There was no what? Corruption in him, because he was trustworthy, worthy of trust, and neither corrupt nor what? Negligent. Why? He was very diligent in what he was doing. And listen to what happens. Finally, these men said, we will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it has something to do with the law of his God. That what made him who he was, it was the law of his God. It was the truth. That's what makes and forms a person inside. So solid, so useful, so skillful, so diligent, so good, so what? All those good things you talk about. And then they said, we make rules. We go to parliament and set new rules. Are we together? Anyway, in short, go and read the chapter by yourself. I know you are diligent. What happened? At the end of it all, the laws of the land were done what? Changed. The laws of the Uganda can be what? Changed. To be aligned to the will of God by the diligence of one man here. One who has chosen to be loved and be faithful to God. Could you be the person? The laws of the land. Look at it where it ended. And even Daniel. Look at where it ended. Verse 25. After all things happened, then King Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, and men of every language throughout the land. Do you know what that means? At that time, Babylon was the superpower. It was like America. And today America has just made itself into a stupid nation. Now, what did he write? May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and revere the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and saves. He does all those things. Rules were changed by the diligence and commitment of one. Rules don't have to be even written, but they are unwritten rules. And you can fail to get a documentation and a certification of something just because you are not giving what? Valentine. Isn't that a rule, by the way? You go to, where is my Valentine? Isn't that the rule now? If they get close to what? To Easter, where is my Easter? What is that called? An unwritten rule called bribery. And you go somewhere, the first thing you fear is the bribe. Even you lose your what? Your phone line to go and get a police letter, bribe. Hello? Are those rules? Those are the standards set for us. And quite often I still get these things without paying. But there is God, so in a way you deal with it, when he meets that person. And it's very real. It's possible. It's possible to get this thing. Anyway, Daniel, chapter 9. Look at what happened. What does it say in verse 20 to verse 23? This man, Daniel, continued. You see, the background to his goodness is now running up to chapter 9, you see. While I was speaking and doing what? Praying. Confessing my what? Sin. And the sin of my people Israel, and making my requests to the Lord, my God, for his holy hill. While I was still in what? Prayer. Gabriel, The man I had seen in the earlier vision came to me swiftly, in swift flight, about the time of the evening sacrifice. He instructed me and said to me, what did he say? Daniel. What did he say? Mr. Chisa, I have now come to give you insight and an understanding. As soon as you began to pray, an answer was given, which I have come to tell you. For you are highly what? Esteemed in the sight of God. Therefore, consider the message and understand the vision. Why? His love and faithfulness to God led him to being even esteemed by who? God. Favor of God. And by that favor, what happens? He was given clarity of what needed to be done in the time such as this. You need to go to the prayer room and you are able to see what God desires of you. You no longer struggle with prayer and receiving a clarity of what God needs to be done, what God wants to be done. Prayer becomes lighter, and one of the things we find ourselves in is the moment you are watching Bukede, there you are becoming very alive. The moment you go in prayer, there is a way you pray. You know, sleep comes from wherever, from where I don't know. It flies in there and it causes, oh Lord, help me. Today it has been a hard day. I know you will help me. God bless you. I'm talking about our prayer rooms, isn't it? Those things happen. They happen. Goodness is the foundation of people what? Relations. Goodness receives favor from what? People. Colossians. Let us just look at it as we come to a conclusion.
If I were a leader of
a course in the university, I would make these two verses the foundation of teaching people how to do salesmanship properly. Okay? It builds from here. What does it say? Colossians chapter 4, verse 5 and verse 6. Let us read it together so that we see. What does it say? Let us read it together. Be wise in the way you act towards customers, towards people outside of you. Make the what? The most of every opportunity. And how do you do that? Let your conversation be full of what? Grace. Where does grace reside? In your feet? In your heart. So make sure your engagement with people is from your heart, with grace given by who? God. Have some consideration within you of the person you are engaging with. Not mere dry, you know, it is grinning all the way. All the time somebody is showing you teeth, but his heart is different. That is not godly. He's even selling you a rotten something, a torn something, a fake something, but he's giving you a face. Begin to give your heart to whoever you engage with, other than a face. These are not face value. It is a heart value that matters. If we are talking about relating with people, it is from your heart, with your heart, and from your heart.
Remember that you're engaged in a Family Sense gathering, which is dedicated to equipping every man, every woman, every husband, every wife with practical wisdom on family and marriage. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
If we are talking about relating with people, it is from your heart, with your heart, and from your heart. And the heart of love and faithfulness to the person. How many words will you edit by engaging your heart with people? You will change the way you speak. You will probably say some prayers of, forgive me, Lord, I was going to deceive this person. Now teach me how to speak what is right and proper before this person. Those are the things. And what happens in there? As we come to the conclusion, what does he say? Let your conversation be full of what? Grace, seasoned with salt. Seasoning. Eh? What does it mean to season food? Eh? You put the right spices. You speak wisely and you speak just what somebody needs. It is good, it is beautiful, it is seasoned. But how many times do we speak things and just carelessly, just to destroy? Come on. Seasoned with what? Salt. Salt brings what? Healing. Salt brings what? Taste. Salt brings what? It stops what? Rotting. It preserves goodness. It preserves relationships. What do I need for customer care? The so-called customer care. And it goes beyond care. To me, I would rather relating. What else does one need? By the way, is that work-like? Is it business-like or it is not? Ain't God so good that he gives everything we need for life? And here it is. So that you may know how to do what? To speak with some people, isn't it? Is it saying some people? Especially those who are like me, I speak this way. The other ones, I speak like the other. Oh. That is what we call people what? Relations. Now people say PR. Eh? What is PR? Public what? So I speak this way in public for a show. Eh? And in private? How are my private relations? How do I engage with Mrs. Mwesigwa? You had better ask her because I might be misinterpreting, all right? PR, you understand? And you know PR is to make up, to put up a face. So we should take that standard. PR should be from a very personal what? Relationship. PR. It combines considerate thoughts, gracious words, and caring action. Care comes from the inside. No, it's not a show. If you're not caring, then don't just try to act it. But many times in the world, we do what? We try to act it. That's not proper. Now, look again. What is it? Diligence leading to skill. Skill leading to good work. Good work leading to gratitude. And where are we? Healthy relationships. And the word is healthy. Not merely relationships. The relationships must be what? Healthy. Built on what?
Goodness.
That wins you favor before who? God. And then people. That is it. When you have that, hey, by the way, have we talked about any reward in money?
Yes.
Now when you engage with people, it is people who have the what? If you don't have healthy relations with people, either you are going to steal their money, or you're going to cheat them, or you are going to do all those other things which are wrong. Money comes as cream on milk. You boil milk, money comes. This money we always struggle with, we don't know the foundation. The foundation is there. It is the last thing, but that is where we want to begin from. That's where the world begins from, and that's why we fail. People, we had better change our perspective of handling things. Tell me if the path is wrong. That is how we build what? A system of rewards. You first get rewarded by what? Diligence. Diligence drives the fuel that increases your skills. enables you to produce good work. You people are grateful to what you do. Healthy relations are built, and then money. You get money. You obtain money to do what? To meet your current needs. Your current needs in your business, your current needs in your life, in your family, and everything. Everything required to keep your work moving on is supplied for. And of course, that also includes your salary. Please pay yourself a salary in your business or in your work. It's okay to do so. We've already seen that. And then secondly, you will also have money to do what? Improve. There is money to sustain what you are doing. Please, don't try to improve before you get to sustain. Sometimes people miss it there. We shall deal with financial planning and everything at another time. Money to improve your what? Your work. Basically, to make your work even what? Better. And finally, money to do what? To expand whatever you are doing. Make the work reach further, or make the work reach out to more what? People. That is the way. And of course, what happens? When that happens, will you have this Hummer? You want to drive Hummer? Which one is it? What? V8? Which one is that? Mercedes? VW? What? What? Helicopter? I can see Pastor Lucy is looking for helicopter. Okay. You understand what we're talking about? And sometimes we get lost in those things. Let me tell you. Please drive a VTs if that's what you need. Don't try to stretch into a Mercedes-Benz to show. And please, if God wants you to go and meet Wavamuno in his air and everything, you will not go in a VTs and he listens to you. God will grant you a Benz. You go there and deal, but let not the Benz drive you. He will give you the Benz, you will pack it, you say, hey, who is that one who has? I think he's like one of us. Now there he wants to talk to you. But make sure you make sense to him, especially in the light of God. By the way, is this which we've been talking about sensible? Yes. Can you teach him customer care the proper way? Yes. And let me tell you something. The resources that are sustaining us here are got that way, not by beggary. In the workings we do there, we go to them, but by the way, somehow, let me tell you something. Mrs. Kayondo, how long have you seen me with that little old donkey? We call it God is a donkey. The Lord is a donkey. How old has it been with us? I've not asked Mrs. Mwesiku deliberately because she can easily tell you a lie here. You understand? Yeah, but Mrs. Kayondo. 2014, isemu litoka. And it is fire. You take it to Karamoja, it goes without saying, I will not go. It goes. We chase one another and lose ourselves in those things. But if you want to understand these things and how to use material properly, you had better look at Galatians chapter 6. It gives a clear picture of certain very essential things. Galatians chapter 6. Now, as these things happen, verse 1 to verse 5, it says, brothers, if someone is caught on the wrong side, you who think are spiritual should restore him gently. But watch yourself, or you also may be tempted. Man, sometimes when we are helping people to get out, we find ourselves falling there. You know, like holding somebody who is dying in a lake. If you're not careful, he will pull you back and then both either go you or he jumps over you to come out. So be what? Else you be tempted. And verse 2 says, carry each other's burdens. Help one another to make yourself better. And in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. And then he says, if anyone thinks he is something when he is something. When he is nothing, he deceives himself. If you think you are A, when you are not really A, what happens? You are deceiving yourself. Let me also put another thing which is qualifies. If you think you are nothing when you are something, you are deceiving yourself by despising yourself, by talking yourself out of what God requires you to do, telling yourself you can't do, but God put all the ability within you to do. And that is what now that wonderful artist man thought he was not that fun. What was it converting you into? A copier of others. All his creativity, which is putting all these things, was shut down. All he do whenever he had a what? A piece of art to do, he would go and do what? Copy, other than create. Galatians chapter 6, as we come to the conclusion. What does it say? Verse 4. Each one should test another person's actions, isn't it?
No. His own.
His own actions. So who tests what you are doing? Then you will take pride in who?
Your accomplishments.
Without comparing with who?
Any other person.
But you should carry what is due to you. Sometimes my burden is if it is, then I'm loading what? A Pajero. What happens? Then I have to keep the space between Pajero and VTs by a loan. Then I pick this loan to try to do this. Then I do this. Then and then I destroy my life. Be who God requires you to be. You remember, find your place and be comfortable in it. And thank God for it. You will get the fulfillment there. And as you see that, be inspired to be what? Even more diligent. After you've got the money to sustain you, to make yourself better, and to do what? To expand, please be inspired to go back to diligence. And that's what that thing comes. Diligence, skill, good work, gratitude, healthy relationships, material. Then back to diligence. The moment you miss going back to diligence, you are going to have this picture here. You begin to make a choice between getting rewards or losing them. The moment you lose diligence, what is going to happen? You begin to lose the rewards. You lose skill. What do you become? Unskilled. Very lousy. Because why? You break the healthy pattern. You remember, skill is a combination of both what? Character and competence. The moment you lose your character, people become, I thought he was an engineer. I thought he used to be able to do things. You still know them, but your character is failing you. Next, what is going to happen to your work? It is going to become bad. What else is going to happen? People are going to be grieved. Grieved by bad work begins to creep in. Grievances do. And what happens? They cut off what? Relationships. They begin to say, that guy is a crook. He calls himself saved. He's crooked. Next, what's going to happen? Unhealthy relationship coming, material goes away. I say, man, the man used to have money. When he used it too. And if you stay in that line, you become again more what? Negligent. Then the negligence runs the cycle. Until you break that, you go back this end. So what's your choice? What is your choice? Back to where we began from. Work. You remember? That's economy. Work. Then next, gets rewards. We have seen the process, right? Then next, manage. That should give you an indicator of what we shall handle. How do you manage? Even when you've got it, how do you manage it? Sometimes we might tick on work, tick on reward. Then how we manage that reward begins to be the destroyer. But we shall deal with it. It gives you an indication of what we're going to deal with. We are still on SOLAT now. System of getting rewards once again. Rewards start by avoiding to be negligent and choosing. It's a personal choice to be what? Diligent. Oh, negligent. Make your choice. And with that, it is not for the timid heart. This process is not for the weak-hearted. If you are weak-hearted, faint-hearted, please get off. Go for negligence and have a full feel of its benefits. The benefits of what? Negligence. All right? And how do we proceed from this? As you diligently follow through his path, which he desires for every man. But one thing I know very well. Nobody is going to build this nation for us. And this nation will not be built by politicians. They don't even have the wisdom to do so. They've tried, they've failed. And remember, where do the politicians come from? We vote them there. So that means they are part of us. So the reflection, what we see in the politics, is actually a reflection of who we are as a nation. And nobody is going to change that, but we ourselves. When we have enough pool of people who know what is right and proper for us to do that, then we shall have a different nation. Otherwise, we shall keep struggling. May God bless you and be well. Thank you. I honor you and respect you.
Family Sense is on a mission of teaching God's truth for reforming marriages and building families throughout the nation. Stability of our nation can only be realized with well-founded families and marriages. We therefore invite you to engage in Family Sense gatherings. Should you have any questions or need specific assistance, please feel free to contact us on 0772 518 554 or 0754 73 4738. You can also email us on noregrets@counselor.com. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you next time.